Hi there. In this screencast, I'm going to show you how to make an XNA game full screen and give it a background image. So I'm looking here at the blank game template where I haven't added anything. And the first thing I'm going to do is declare two int variables that are called screen height and screen width. All right, now I'm going to go down to this method that's called game1, and underneath the line of code that says content.rootDirectory equals content, I'm going to add 4 lines of code. And one is going to be this: screen width equals, and then it's going to be graphics adapter dot, and then default adapter dot current display mode, oops, and then dot width. And then I'm going to copy and paste that line of code for the height and just change the word width to height. All right, so what are these 2 lines of code doing? These 2 lines of code are going out and looking at your Windows settings for the PC that your program is running on, and it's storing what the resolution of your actual display is in variables called screen width and screen height. And now I'm going to add 3 lines of code, and then the first one is this one. And then the second one is going to be for height as well. And then the last line of code is going to make the game full screen. So essentially I'm making the dimensions of my screen in the game being screen width and screen height. And then to get rid of the title bar, if I can spell height correctly, H-E-I-G-H-T, oops, and I can't type now. There we go. To get rid of the title bar, I'm going to have to, still can't spell that right. There we go. I'm going to have to add one more line of code that says graphics dot is full screen equals true. So that's going to get rid of the title bar for the window. So let me try running it and we'll see what I get. I should get a light blue screen that takes up the entire screen, essentially. All right, I did. Good. So once you're running the game, we haven't added any key press code to cause it to stop. But what you can do is click Alt-Tab, and that will take you back to the Visual Studio window, and then you can do debug, stop debugging. Okay, so now I'm going to add a background image to my game. So I'm going to declare another variable that's a texture 2D variable, and it is background texture. And that variable is going to actually contain the image that I'm going to use. And then I'm going to say rectangle, and I'm going to call it background rectangle. All right. So now I'm going to load the actual image that I'm going to use. So what I do is I go over to Solution Explorer, and if you don't have Solution Explorer visible, remember, go to the View menu, Solution Explorer. Then I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to Add Existing Item, and I'm going to browse over to my Flappy Bird image, and let's see, hopefully I can find it. So let's see. All right, I think I found them here. So I have 3 bird images and a background. So I'm going to do Add. And now I'm going to assign the background image to the background texture variable, this one right there. And I do that in the load content method. So after the statement sprite batch equals new sprite batch graphics device, and right, get rid of this comment, kind of right before that comment, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say background texture, if I can type. And then it's going to be equals this, this dot content dot load, and it's going to be texture 2D. Okay, and then parentheses, and I say button bashing background. And that needs to go in quotation marks. And then I do close parentheses. All right, now I'm also going to make the rectangle in the game1 method. So after down after the line graphics.isFullScreen equals true, I'm going to say background rectangle. So I already declared it above, but now I'm actually going to make it. In object-oriented programming, this is called instantiating an object. So new rectangle. So the background image for a game is nothing more than a rectangle that is drawn on the screen. So I'm going to, let's see, 0, 0. So those are the coordinates of the upper left corner of the rectangle, which I'll make 0 and 0 so that it's going to be located in the place you would expect. And then I'm going to say screen width and screen height. All right, now I'm ready to draw my rectangle. So I'm going to go down to all the way down to the bottom to the draw method. And right after graphicsDevice.clear, I'm going to type this, spritebatch.begin, and then a spritebatch.end, and then in between there I'm going to say spritebatch.draw, and then I say, let's see, it was background texture, comma, background rectangle, comma, and then I'm going to do color.white. If you do color.white, there is no tinting, so you'll get the image just like it's supposed to be, as you would expect it. All right, let's see if this works. All right, good. So now I have a background image.